Hi, I'm Bill Corcoran Jr. This is the On the Stacks podcast.
Oh yeah, whoa, look, they can never keep me down, I'm going, and if I ever fail, just know I'll go again. I never quit, cause I know that every loss may lead to another win. I'm going up.
Today's guest is David Pearson, a freelance graphic designer and board member of NEPA Rainbow Alliance. In this episode, we talk about pop culture, music, and nostalgia of the 90s. We also talk about overcoming social anxiety, grappling with imposter syndrome, and realizing there is no such thing as the perfect time, and why you should start saying yes to more opportunities. This episode would not be possible without the support of our sponsors, so please check them out in the show notes. I'm your host, Bill Corcoran Jr., and this is David Pearson on the Stacks.
I can't believe what I was missing when I was scared to get out there. I was just very concerned with how people would perceive me. Once my dad died, I was like, well, stop waiting for the perfect time, because it'll be over before you know it. So like, get out there and start doing stuff that makes you happy.
This episode is brought to you by Sweat Tent, the pioneers of the portable wood-burning sauna. Did you know that using the sauna 3 to 4 times per week could reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 50% and make you 60% less likely to experience Alzheimer's disease? That's why I've been a big fan of the sauna for years. But having to go to a crowded gym to do it isn't ideal. And all the at-home options are bulky and expensive. That's why I only use the Sweat Tent for my sauna needs. It's the most storable and affordable wood-burning sauna on the market. It not only takes minutes to set up, but it can reach 200 degrees Fahrenheit in 30 minutes or less. So whether you're enjoying it yourself in your backyard, with friends, or in need of a reliable sauna on the go, Sweat Tent is your best choice for the most portable, storable, and enjoyable outdoor sauna experience. All On The Stacks listeners will receive $100 off when you use code OTS. Visit sweattent.com today to get $100 off your purchase with code OTS at checkout. Again, that's sweattent.com to get $100 off with code OTS. Sweat Tent, helping you fire up your home wellness routine. This episode is brought to you by Burn, the fitness company behind the Today Show approved Burn board. If I'm being honest, working out can be a real chore, especially as a new dad in desperate need of sleep and cardio. Burn is founded by NEPA native Jimmy T. Martin, and his Burn board offers a low-impact core and cardio experience unlike anything I've done before. They have hundreds of on-demand workouts that are great for beginners, seasoned athletes, and out-of-shape podcast hosts who love supporting small businesses. My wife and I use it pretty frequently throughout the week, and it's honestly a great way to burn a ton of calories without burning a ton of cash. Not to mention, it's a great tool for skiers, runners, wrestlers, and hockey players. Jimmy is offering all On The Stacks listeners 15% off when they use the code STACKS15. Visit theburn.com today to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15 at checkout. Again, that's theburn, THEBRRN.com to get 15% off your purchase with code STACKS15. It's time to get on board today with Burn. This episode is brought to you by Cavanaugh's Grille, one of my favorite places to eat and drink in NEPA. They've got one of the best outdoor patios with 13 TVs and over 20 beers on tap. You can also dine inside at this cozy Irish-style pub where your beer never goes empty. Did I mention how delicious their food is? Their in-house smoked brisket, barbecue ribs, and wings are to die for. So grab your friends and have a drink on me at Cavanaugh's. Mention code STACKS for one free draft beer with purchase of any entree when you dine in. Located at 163 North Main Street in Mountaintop, Cavanaugh's is open at 4 p.m. during the week and 12 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday during football season. Dine in today at Mountaintop's only Irish-style pub. What's up, podcast? It's your host, Bill Corcoran Jr. here in the Blue Door Studio, protected by our friends at Ritchie Security Solutions. David Pearson, welcome to the On the Stacks podcast.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm excited because you told me that before you got here, you said, I'm bringing my boombox in.
Yes.
I'm putting my Spice Girls CD
Yes.
in the boombox, and we're going to have a dance party.
Yeah, and my Spice Girl dolls. You can't forget about them.
You got the Spice Girl dolls?
Maybe a few.
Do you? From way back then?
Yeah.
Do you?
Honestly, yeah.
All of
I'm
them?
not even kidding. Not all of them, but some.
Okay.
I mean, I have the full set of all 5. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The original one's the first set because they had a bunch.
Are they like used, meaning like played with, or are they like, are these like collector's items?
Well, When I got them off of eBay, they weren't played with, but I have to admit, I might have.
You destroyed them.
a little bit. Not destroyed them. No, you have to keep them in mint condition.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So, but you did unbox them.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
they're on top of my computer desk. They're a part of a little mascot situation that I have going on, because I have
Mascot
Britney
situation.
Spears with them as well. She had a little action figure going on during her heyday, and I have other icons.
are you like
over
an
the
action
last-
figure like collector?
Just mainly just the Spice Girls, Britney Spears,
Your favorite artist?
the Yellow Ranger, Pink Ranger.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Favorite Power Rangers?
Oh, definitely Yellow and Pink.
Yellow
the
and pink.
originals. Yeah.
Why yellow and pink?
Because they were the girls and they were kicking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I forget what the heck even were the other colors. There was blue,
there was
black,
Blue, red,
green?
black, green.
Right?
Yeah. And then the Green Ranger became the White Ranger.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Why green change colors? Do you know?
I'm not really sure. I might
know
have
either.
to go back and watch.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm not really sure.
So you said you have those too?
No, I don't have those. I
Oh, just the
have
pink and the yellow.
The pink and the yellow.
That's
yes.
right, pink and the yellow.
Yeah, I cut it off.
The cool
after that.
ones.
Yes.
Just the cool ones.
Yeah, because the pink even had the skirt and everything.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. like an actual like not like dressed in like the Power Ranger thing?
No, it looked like the rest of the Power Ranger uniforms, but hers just had a little skirt to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But the yellow one didn't, which is weird because she's a girl too. But
Maybe she didn't like skirts.
exactly.
That's
There's
cool.
room for everybody.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I learned. David and I went to grade school
We
together.
did.
A couple years older than me, but
Yes.
yeah, we went to grade school together at St. Aloysius way back in the day.
St. Aloysius, the best school there is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you and I reconnected probably a few years ago.
Yeah.
Through social media. Probably just through like watching you open cheese advent calendars or something, or
Yes.
Fireball or whatever it was. And I'm glad we reconnected.
Yeah.
And I love your antics on social
Thank
media.
you. I love your antics
Yeah,
on social
that's I think
media.
that is really how we reconnected. Like I don't think we had ever spoken like
No.
in I don't know
Since St.
like,
Al's in
like
the 90s.
20 plus years. Plus because you were 2 years older, you're in my sister's class.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
I don't think we really ever even spoke then. But like we knew each other.
Yeah, it's
right?
crazy because
Yeah.
it was like 20 years ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then
over actually a little
back
bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we're back here rocking out to the Spice Girls.
That's right.
And we were at the same Spice Girls concert.
Yes.
I have to admit.
At Montage Mountain.
Yes, that's right. And
Yes.
everyone's probably like, "Oh my God, Bill is a Spice Girls fan." I'm not a Spice Girls fan, but I'm
Yeah.
not a Spice Girl, right? So
Casual listener.
yeah, casual listener. I mean, I don't think I could really name any songs, but if I heard them, I would know them. That's how I am with a lot of music, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like anytime, like I always get criticized when people are like, "You don't know who this is," and I'm like, if you told me, I would know, and I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I know who that is."
Right.
Right. Like, but it's
Yeah.
not like everyone's like, "Yo, do you know who this artist is?" And I'm like, I don't know. And then like they would say it, and I'd be like, "Okay, well, yes, I do know."
Exactly.
But it's like I'm not good with names.
Right.
I'm not good with that.
I hear you. I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
feel. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so we were at the same Spice Girls concert. Didn't know.
We didn't know that. No.
We did not know that.
No.
Did you go to NSYNC too?
I actually did.
I was there. Yeah.
I actually did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to their concert with my friend, and yeah, it was a big ordeal. It was a day trip.
They were always
to
a big
us.
ordeal.
Yeah, and we brought like backpacks and sandwiches and all of that just to go up to Montage Mountain.
Yeah,
But
it was like a vacation.
Yes.
It was almost like you had to like prepare as if you were going for like a 3-day weekend in like Canada.
yes, yeah,
Right?
Yeah, to see NSYNC,
Especially
at
as a
Montage
kid.
Mountain.
Especially as a kid.
20 minutes away.
I mean, actually, as an adult, I think I would still do that though.
Right.
I would still take, would you say, sandwiches in a backpack?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it was like tailgating for kids.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. What would you take now though, or what do you take
Oh
now?
my god, maybe a couple White Claws.
Okay.
Maybe definitely sandwiches still.
Definitely still sandwiches.
Chips for sure.
Cheese sandwich.
Yeah, why not? Cheese, mustard,
Fix
tomato
me a sandwich. Tomato
Yes.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's like tailgating now.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like children, kids tailgating now. Like it's adults.
Yeah.
Nothing changed, isn't that weird?
No.
Just the
just
potentially
the stuff you bring.
potentially the liquid.
Right.
That's like the
Right.
only difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, are you a big concert goer?
I definitely would like to think so, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. So especially now on the downturn of COVID, now that everything's open back up and all the shows are happening again, I'm making it a point to at least attend one a year. And so far I'm beating that record this year. Yes.
Who have you seen?
Well, this year I kicked off my little concert season just last week with Janet Jackson in Allentown. She was amazing. She was great. It was a wonderful time. And then next month I'm going to see, or when this comes out, it'll be June. So this month I'm going to see Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks in Philadelphia. Yeah. And then Family Vacation is happening in July, so no concerts during July. But then Madonna in New York City in August.
So you're doing a lot. You're crushing that.
Yeah, I'm making up for lost time. I feel. Yeah,
that's true. I think everybody lost a lot during the COVID years of live entertainment and in-person stuff. And yeah, I've never really been a huge concert goer.
No.
I think I got my eardrums blown out when I was a kid.
No. From the Spice Girls?
I think it might have been NSYNC. I think NSYNC might have been worse.
That'll do it.
Right? I mean, I know like the sound system's like different then.
Yeah.
But I think I was also like, way too close.
Yeah, and young. Developing eardrums.
As a 8-9-year-old or whatever. And, we're there with the fam, the sisters, like I kind of got dragged along. Mm-hmm. And yeah. I'm not like a huge concert. I would like to get to more concerts though.
Yeah.
I don't know why I never really got into it, but over the years, I'll say as I got older, I know it sounds weird saying that now.
Right.
I feel like we feel like we're like our parents saying those things now. Like now that I'm older.
When I was your age.
Yeah. When I was, yeah. I've learned to just, not that I didn't appreciate music back in the day, but like now it has like so much more meaning.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I'm a big music fan.
Yeah.
All kinds.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I feel like just, understanding and appreciating like the music and at the time, like whatever the artist is, what's going on in their life, like you watch like the evolution of their life through their music. Yes. And it's just so fascinating. We were talking about documentaries before this, and we were talking about musician documentaries. One of my favorite ones to watch, just because I love seeing the progression.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just so fascinating.
Especially when it's like a build up to a big event that like everybody has witnessed and everybody's like, oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, like what the behind the scenes of something.
I love like the behind the scenes look.
Yeah. So who's your favorite artist these days?
Oh my gosh. Well, I do love me some Lady Gaga. Gaga.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Lady Gaga is like the number one that I will like cancel plans for if she's local.
Yeah.
But don't hold me to it if I cancel plans and Lady Gaga's in town and sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
So why Lady Gaga?
I just feel like she has like a great voice for the people and like her message is really strong and I mean, yeah, she's rich and famous, but I think that helps her shed light on some positivity for people and deliver a really good, positive, strong message.
What like is her like messaging? I'm not like a huge Lady Gaga like listener. I mean, I know the music, right?
Yeah,
but
she's really big on LGBTQ rights and activism for the LGBTQ community. So I guess that's also why I'm a fan of hers as well.
You connect on a similar level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. When did you discover her?
I was in college when, actually my roommate, Michael DeRojas, he downloaded her songs, burnt them to a CD from MySpace. And
no way.
We were on our drive because Michael is from this area and we went to college in Philadelphia together and we would carpool back and forth. He would come in with me and we would head back together after the weekend was over. And it wasn't every time. We didn't like come in every weekend. But when we would come in, we would head back together on a Sunday night. And this one time he ripped Lady Gaga's MySpace songs and burnt them to a CD. And we were headed back and he was like, listen to this new artist that's coming out, and he could hold me to this. He remembers me saying this, and I will admit it. I was like, oh, she sounds like Ashley Simpson. But and nothing against Ashley Simpson. I love Ashley Simpson. I still love her first album. But I was like, she just sounds like another Ashley Simpson. But so we kept on playing those songs, and
You didn't believe in her at first.
I didn't, and I'm so sorry.
Apologize
to
to her.
Lady Gaga for saying that.
Because she's going to be watching, and she needs to hear your apology.
But that was before her first album came out. And so we kept on playing it on our CD player in our apartment because that's how long ago it was. It was like 2000.
Burns CDs, by the way. Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was like 2007, 2008.
Did you used to, and I feel like you probably did, because I feel like we all did, like our generation. Do you remember you would get a cassette from, like, your parents would get you like a cassette, and then you would put it in your boombox in your room, and you would have to, like, you'd be listening to the radio, and you'd have to
record the radio.
time it perfectly.
Yes.
So, like, you don't get the DJ. Sorry whoever the DJs were. You would have to, like, right when they were like, the DJ's like, and here's the song, Country Grammar by Nelly. And boom, you had to hit record as soon as possible.
Yes.
Right? And then time it, right?
And
you did that? Did you do that?
Oh, I did that.
Yeah, so did I.
But I always managed to mess it up somehow.
Did you?
I think, yeah.
I was always like a little off too.
Cut off the beginning or like the end.
You'd be
or
so
if it
mad
was
at yourself.
Yeah.
Then you'd have to like rewind it and wait and like try it the next time.
Yeah. And it was even worse if it was Club BHT. Don't get me wrong. I loved that segment on like a Saturday night after I would come home from school dances at St. Al's.
Yeah.
But it would like cut off your favorite part. They would go into the next song, and your recording would be null and void after that because your favorite part did not come on.
Yeah, the worst. Oh my God. It was such a struggle, man.
Yes.
Kids these days have no idea.
They have no idea.
No clue.
No idea.
Like we're sitting there with cassettes, like trying to hit that record button from FM radio. Mm-hmm. It's like what's that nowadays? Like
Yes.
what the hell? And then we were burning CDs. I remember doing that. It was that was a huge upgrade. Mm-hmm. Napster.
Kazaa.
Do you call it Kazaa?
Kazaa.
I think I called it Kaza.
Kaza.
Did I call it Kaza?
Oh, maybe fancy.
Kaza.
Maybe.
I think I called it Kaza.
Kaza.
Yeah, I think I did.
LimeWire.
LimeWire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all I got.
Napster was like the
before.
greatest.
Yeah. It was good.
Napster was like OG, the best.
Yeah. I felt like
those were fun times.
It was less shady than LimeWire.
Yeah, LimeWire basically wrecked your computer for life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is probably why I stopped at LimeWire because
Yeah. So I think like Napster was like the best in terms of not getting a virus, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then Kaza or Kazaa, whatever you call it. I think I called it Kaza.
Yeah.
And then like LimeWire.
I think it could go either way.
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, the good old days of the Wild West internet.
Yes. I definitely feel like Napster was the best way, the most legal way to illegally download songs. But
yeah. Wow. Wild. That's so crazy. I remember what was it? Remember everybody had like the gateway, the cow computer. Remember the cow? It was like had like the cow. Looked like cow packaging.
Yeah.
Right.
And Compaq was also a very big one. I think.
Is that what you had?
We had Compaq. Yeah.
Okay. Gateway. Am I saying that right? That was right.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up.
Gateway with the cow print, and
Gateway
it came in like a cow box.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I think like one year we got. I'm looking at it right now. The cow box. Oh my God. We got it for Christmas, and then we're on AOL.
Yes.
Yeah. Everybody got their subscription to AOL dial-up.
Mm-hmm. With those free discs that you would get.
Yeah.
Get your free trial.
That's right. Wow. What a trip down memory lane.
Yes.
It's been wow, wild. Crazy how much different the internet has.
It really is.
Since then.
In like 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. Crazy. Mm-hmm. And the chat rooms.
Yes.
Chat rooms were wild.
They were wilds.
Yeah.
I should not have been in some chat rooms.
What was your screen name?
I remember the one that I had in high school. I don't remember my earlier ones.
Your original.
My earlier ones when I was like really younger, I think it was just like generic like D Pear, Pear, and then like 118 or something like that. But I got really into the emo screen names in high school. So the one
reveal it.
The last one I had was Blurred Edges 18.
Ooh.
And you know where I got it from? I'll tell you. It sounds more emo than it was.
Okay.
Remember that song "Bitch" by Meredith Brooks?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
her album.
That was like a badass song.
Yeah,
It still is.
Still is.
Still
yeah.
is.
So her whole album that song came from. I don't know the rest of the songs on that album, but when it was playing on like my Napster or Kaza, and I saw the name of the album, it was called "Blurring All the Edges." So I just got all the out of there, and it was Blurred Edges.
Blurred
and then
Edges.
18. I wasn't 18 at the
Were
time.
you emo?
No, which
No?
is like really weird. So when like people ask what my last screen name was, I say that and they're like, "Oh, what was wrong?" But
What was wrong? Yeah. Were you okay, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. You sure?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what made me think of that or what made me go with that, but
Weird. Yeah. Hey, whatever.
do you remember yours?
Yeah. So my first one was like really weird. I don't know if you remember, but it was like, I think this was cool. At least it was cool for like me and my sister, maybe like 2 other people. Maybe it was just us. I don't know. But I think my original was the cool thing to do was spell your name backwards.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Was that a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So mine was YLLIBOC987. I think it was something like that.
Did it have those alternating like capital, lowercase, capital, lowercase?
I think
capital?
of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That one, and then once I was like, okay, that's not cool anymore. Then the next cool thing, I was a fan of DMX.
Oh,
So,
yes.
and I don't know
Rough
where
Riders.
and I don't know where I came up with the numbers after it, but then one of my longtime screen names was DMX198. But Party Up came out.
Yeah.
Yep.
DMX. Gotta represent.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of DMX.
Rest in peace
R.I.P.
to-
R.I.P. to DMX.
Yeah.
That was sad day. When DMX passed.
Yeah.
Man, he's had some. He went through a lot of shit in his life.
He did. Yeah.
And same thing going back to like now as like you're a little bit older and you can like really listen and kind of understand the lyrics more. Now you like, at least now I see more like what he went through.
Yeah.
Or what he was going through at the time of all of his albums.
Yes.
It's like it's been like the roller coaster of his life.
Yeah.
Drug addiction and everything. But yeah, DMX. Yeah. And then I also had another one. You ready for this? People are gonna laugh their ass off.
Yes.
It was I'm Slim Shady. 219. That one definitely had the upper and lowercase.
Yes.
I'm Slim Shady.
I like that.
Because that was right around the same time, like DMX Party Up, The Real Slim Shady.
Yes.
I mean, that music all was like
2000, 2001.
Yeah, that was like my first
Yes.
Burn CD.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I had the was it a Walkman? The disc, like
Yes.
the CD. Was it called Walkman?
I think so.
Is that what it was called? I think yeah. I remember I had that plug-in headphones.
Yeah, the anti-skip that wasn't really anti-skip.
Yes. Had the-
Couldn't fit in your pocket.
Yep, yeah, they'll like hold it.
Yeah.
Unless you're like
Or
a
if
hoodie
you had
pocket.
Oh my God, you read my
Yes.
mind.
Yeah, I used to take it to school.
Yes.
I used to wear hoodies and take it to school, and then like you
Yeah.
put your hood up, and then you'd fish
No one's gonna know.
this wire like down through your shirt and into your hoodie pocket with the Walkman. And the teacher would be like, "Put your hood down." And then you just pull the headphones down like with the hood, and it's like
and they weren't like
they were like small.
they
Yeah.
weren't like AirPods are now. Like,
Right. Or like these big ass ones, like, because they have like
Right.
the Beats by Dre that are like obnoxious like these here now, right? So, but back in the day, it was just like the thing was like as big as your ear. Like it was, do you remember? Like,
it was
they were
just-
bad.
yeah.
So bad. Mm-hmm. But technology.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It evolves.
Wow. Yeah. I'm Slim Shady. Bring back AIM.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad that our last time on AIM was our last time and we didn't even know it?
Yeah.
I'm getting deep.
How did that happen? What happened to AIM?
I don't know. I was thinking about that recently and I was like, I signed out for the last time and I didn't know it was going to be the last time.
Yeah. That's very sad.
We're getting very blurred edges in here.
Should we have a moment of silence for AIM? All right, here we go. All right, thank you. Yeah, AIM. Yeah, I remember I was in college, and I don't know what. I don't know. Same thing. Like I signed out for the last time. I think Facebook was becoming much more popular at that time.
It's really weird. I could still hear like that door open sound and the door close sound every time somebody would sign out.
Wild.
Yeah.
And then same thing with AOL. Like You've Got Mail.
Yes. Yeah.
Matt Oganowski. Shout out to Matt Oganowski. Guys, call me right now. I feel like I should answer and put him on, but I won't do that to you. But shout out to Matt Oganowski, a fan of the show. So that's probably why he's calling. He's telling me how great I'm doing. Thanks, Matt. But yeah, I think Facebook had a lot to do with.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know when Messenger came out on Facebook, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think Facebook took over or was taking over, starting to take over. I mean, maybe that was it. I don't know.
Yeah. I think
and better texting, maybe.
Yes.
Better texting at that time too was becoming better, maybe.
The availability to people got more intense because you were only able to access somebody when they would come on your buddy list.
Right.
But now I feel like it's kind of in a bad way that everybody's available at all times, because you're like, let me look up that person, send them a message.
Yeah.
They don't have to be online right now, but I'm going to get to them.
Crazy. It's been, wow. So what have you been up to the last 20 some years?
Oh my gosh, where do I start?
Or at least after, we became adults.
Yeah. So, well, do you want the history of my life?
We want the history of David Pearson. How many people call you Pearson?
Not a lot.
No?
Not as
Really?
many as you would think.
Okay.
No. But they do go for the PIER spelling. Like when I
could see that.
check in somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not that often.
Yeah, they're spelling your last name wrong when you're checking into the 5-star hotels, right?
Yeah. It's PEAR, like pear.
Like the pear.
Yeah.
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 So.
But so we went to grade school together at St. L's, and then from there I went to Bishop Hoban, and then from there I went to college in Philadelphia. It was Philadelphia University. In the 80s and maybe 90s, it used to be called College of the Textiles and Sciences. It's right by Manayunk. It's in the middle of like Manayunk, Roxborough, that area. It's outside of the city, which was nice. It was like a 10-minute train ride into the city. And now it changed names again because Thomas Jefferson University bought them. So
Okay.
Now people think it's like it is a medical school, but that part is like still an art school. So that never changed. But from there, I was looking for an internship to stay in Philadelphia. And nobody was really looking to bring on any more interns. So then I was looking for a job after graduation, and everybody wanted somebody with 2 to 5 years of experience. I went to school for graphic design, by the way. So it's funny, the evolution of like my cover letters were like very professional in the beginning, and then when people were like 2 to 5 years of experience at the end, I was like, how am I supposed to get experience? I wasn't really like that in my cover letters, but they got slightly more like broken down, like, please just give me a job.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
I want this job. Hire me.
Yeah. So my lease was up in August of 2009. That's when I graduated college. So I didn't find a job down in Philadelphia. So I came back here and I started working at Sallie Mae in the loan department in collections. And I was there for just a little less than a year, and then I started like kind of getting warmer and warmer in my major of graphic design. I left Sallie Mae to go to Screen Printing USA in Mountaintop, and I was a screen printer there. And I didn't like do any of the designs or anything. I just screen printed.
You actually worked like in production.
Yeah, and let me tell you, that was a workout, and I was probably
arm workout, man.
Yeah,
right.
I was
gonna say, I thought I saw some big muscles on you.
Well, they've dissipated since. But yeah, I was like really surprised how much of a workout it was every day. And if you're a screen printer listening, like, props to you, because it's hard work. And
physical.
Yeah, especially in the summers. Like, they had air conditioning, but from like
hot,
the strenuous,
right?
Yeah, and you have to really like kind of give it some oomph in there. But so I was there for I think a little over a year, and then I got my like first real job doing graphic design downtown in Wilkes-Barre. It was right across from Barton Irby's. Now it's the Downpour. I was doing newspaper advertisements. So his ammo was at Advertising Outsourcing Services, and they've changed names since.
What is it now? I've heard of them.
Now it is Dynamic Advertising Services, I believe. My best friend Michael DeRojas, who I talked about earlier, he works there as well. We met there. Well, we didn't meet there, but we rejoined forces for the first time working together, me and my best friend Michael.
Again? Or there? There.
Well, we were roommates in college. And then when I left college, Michael still had a year to go. So he stayed down there for a little bit, but he came back home. And then we've never like not been friends, but we really rejoined forces at AOS.
Okay.
And that's what we called it for short.
AOS.
Yeah. And so yeah, we've been like besties.
Do you guys have a secret handshake or?
No, I wouldn't call it a secret handshake, but sometimes.
But you got the code, the lingo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I was there for a little over 4 years, and then I went to Highlights for Children magazine, and I did not know before I started there that the magazine is constructed, thought out, and put together in Honesdale. It's just like an hour from Wilkes-barre. And I was there for about 8 years, and it was the best time ever. And it was so creative, and it was so much fun to be. You kind of had to like get in the mind of what would kids think is cool, and bright colors, and like what would grab their attention, and like what would they be bored with. And they would test it out with like local kids. They would get like rough versions of puzzles and like see if kids thought it was boring, or if it held their attention, what they thought was cool, what they should get rid of. Was this scary? There was a lot of stuff that I wouldn't think was scary, but a little kid might be like, that is frightening. Like,
I think about that often, like reading a book to my son. He's almost 2 years old, and just children's books in general, right? And it's like we're reading books. He's reading books about monsters and like all things like that. I'm thinking to myself, like, sometimes it's kind of like scary looking. Like I mean, I don't think it is, but I try to put myself in their shoes, and it's like, I feel like that's gonna be scary to him somehow, but he's none of them's really bothered him yet,
right?
But I think they try to, like, they make them like fun, so like they don't get scared of monsters, even though they don't exist,
right?
But
yes,
yeah,
I remember the old version, like the 80s 90s version of Candyland, had some really kind of frightening characters on the board game. I remember the Licorice Man was not. That just sounds very friendly looking.
I don't really remember. I mean, I remember the name.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't know. I probably played, but I just don't remember. Right.
Yeah.
But that just sounds awful and scary.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So they definitely revised it, because I don't think the scary Licorice Man is on Candyland anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as of March, I'm freelancing for Highlights now, but I'm no longer like a full-time employee. So
I want to just creatively, like what exactly did you do? Like, were you like help designing the books?
Sure. So we would get my job title was pre-media specialist. So we would get a file folder with like different illustrations, and then we would get a file with a book map that says page 1, this goes on page 1. Page 2 is the table of contents, and basically it's just like a rundown. Sometimes they would have a visual representation if it's pulling from something that was already constructed, and you just are kind of like Frankensteining something together. But a lot of the time it would focus on those hidden pictures. So the objects, sometimes you would have to go in and like Photoshop, clip them out, and make them their own like standalone file without a background. And lately they've been getting better, like digital. Now that everything's becoming digital, they're getting better about submitting the objects on their own. So, but there's artists and illustrators that just like pen and paper is their thing, pencil and paper, and they would like scan it. So then that's when you would have to go in and like Photoshop.
Like recreate it in a sense.
Yeah, a little
like
bit.
Vectorize like sketches.
Sometimes, but mainly it would be like photoshopping, like just making the black line stronger and stuff like that. So yeah.
So like what is your thing? Like what's your thing in the creative world, in the creative space from a graphic design standpoint? Like what's your thing? What do you do? Like what's your favorite?
I really like and go figure, it was my worst class in college. Like the professor told me, you're very close to failing. So typography I really love, and like layouts and stuff like that. At the time in college I hated it, and I think it was more so the professor, but I really like different types of type and like the weights and like page layout was a big thing at Highlights that I did like daily. So you could slap stuff on a page, but it wouldn't look nice. So you have to, it's kind of like Tetris, where like you could have like a block of copy, and then you could like, so you could put like a picture over here, and it would just kind of flow better instead of just slapping stuff.
Yeah, looking sloppy.
Yes.
Yeah, but what about like personally? Like, do you draw? Do you paint? Do you do like anything else like personally? Like besides just like, I'll say professionally, like for like a job, right? Like do you like as a hobby as a kid? Like where did your creativity start for you?
Right. Funny enough that you bring up drawing and painting, because now I'm like questioning, was graphic design a good choice? Because my drawing teacher in freshman year of college also told me,
stop drawing.
Yeah, maybe this is not for you. And I was like, no, I really think so. And she was like, I really don't think so. But I did not listen to her. And so drawing definitely still is not my forte.
But you like to do it?
Not really.
No, okay.
I would say more so like computer work. I would like to like toot my own horn and say I'm good with like photoshopping is a good skill of mine. So like if somebody needs somebody photoshopped out of a picture, I most likely can do that.
Okay.
Or I don't know, just making a picture look better in Photoshop. I would say my skill set is definitely Photoshop. But drawing, no. Painting, maybe, but not drawing.
Okay.
But I guess like I got the obsession with, well, I want to call it an obsession. My liking for graphic design came from
OnTheStacks will be back in a flash after a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Elevation Wellness, NEPA's premier wellness center located on Mundy Street in Wilkes-Barre. From pro athletes to busy parents, Elevation Wellness is leading the conversation when it comes to bettering your health through integrative medicine. Founded by NEPA native Louis Helmecke, Elevation Wellness offers physician-formulated and guided treatments that are administered by registered nurses. To learn more about how you can experience the benefits of IV vitamin therapy, multivitamin booster shots, non-invasive aesthetics, or peptide, NAD, red light, and compression therapy, visit elevation-wellness.com or follow them on Instagram at elevationwellnessnepa. All OnTheStacks listeners will receive 10% off their first purchase with code STACKS at checkout. Call 570-762-9400 or visit elevation-wellness.com to book your appointment today. Elevation Wellness, taking your health to new heights. Welcome to the future. While you're hearing this ad in the present, the Center for Technology Innovation at Lackawanna College is preparing students for the jobs of tomorrow in the world of advanced technology. The Center for Technology Innovation will offer undergraduate degree programs, corporate training, as well as short-term stackable certificates in areas such as robotics, cybersecurity, electric vehicles, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence. Based at a 90,000 square foot facility in downtown Scranton, Pennsylvania, the Center for Technology Innovation is located 2 hours from the major cities of New York, New Jersey, and Philadelphia, and is just 15 minutes from a commercial airport in a region thriving with tourist attractions and a vibrant restaurant, educational, and cultural scene. Lackawanna College is a proven industry-leading innovator. But don't just take my word for it. Fast Company even recognized Lackawanna College's reputation for innovation by naming them to their top 10 list as one of the world's most innovative companies. For more information or to enroll, call 877-346-3552 or visit lackawanna.edu.
I have the privilege of representing people who have been injured through no fault of their own, and they come to us and they place a lot of trust in us, and we represent them against corporations and insurance companies, and we make those companies know that our clients have a story, that they deserve compensation, and I'm proud to be able to do that for our clients at Anzalone Law.
To learn more, visit Anzalone Law offices online at anzalonelaw.com. And now we're back on the stacks.
My liking for graphic design came from just like seeing different logos and stuff when I was younger and just thinking like, well, that's cool. Like, I want to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, so
branding.
Yeah. I love branding. Mm-hmm. You're a big branding guy.
I am. Yeah. There's some people out there that like are really good at branding, and I would say I'm okay, but I've seen better people out there do branding.
Yeah. But it's still like you could just enjoy it. Like I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but like when I see things that are good, I know and I can recognize, right? Mm-hmm. And like I have the ability, I feel like, to take something like I know what I'm seeing something in my head kind of sometimes, right? And I'm just then I would explain to somebody like you kind of like what I want or kind of how I want it to look.
Yes.
And I do this like with everything, whether it's, just branding, anything graphically, visually, audio, video, whatever it is. I always tell everybody everybody's like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know. Right. Of course. And probably every graphic designer's nightmare, right? And I was like, well, I just need to see something first. Like I would maybe just give you something, right?
Yeah.
At least just to start. And I'm always like, I just need to just give me a couple concepts of something. I'll kind of give you what I'm maybe looking for. And then it's like, as long as I can then see something, then I'm like, okay, now that I have a rough draft, now I know now I know what I want it to look like. And then I'm like, okay, let's tweak this, change that, blah, blah, blah. But it's harder for me. I need to visually see something first.
I'm a visual person.
Yes.
I'm a visual learner.
Yes.
You could tell me how to do something verbally or write it down, and seeing it visually helps.
And being able to do it. Because just hearing that, it's like one ear out the other, and you're like, oh, forget it.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they just said. Right? But it's like, let me do it.
Exactly. And that's definitely my learning method is just jumping in the deep end and just doing it. And if I mess up, I'll learn from it. And I'll do it over again.
Is that how you got good at Photoshop?
I think so, yeah.
Just trying trial and error?
Yeah. And because tutorials on YouTube are helpful, but I like to just be in there and just tinker around and just, I don't know.
Yeah, you can go down a big rabbit hole in Photoshop. I was doing a lot of Photoshop stuff during COVID.
Yes.
Just photoshopping myself into things, photoshopping other people, doing all kinds of just weird things.
Yeah.
So I'm I was really bad at first. And I'm on nowhere near the level of you, okay? Just by the way. If I had to say on a scale of 1 to 10, well, first of all, let me just say the most I can do is just Photoshop backgrounds and people's faces and bodies and heads and warp some things and stuff like that. And I've gotten pretty good at some things. I've tricked a lot of people.
That's when you know your design is good.
Yeah, but I'm not a designer. I don't want to, because people listening are probably like, that guy's a fraud. But I could take something, just kind of put it in a photo and kind of make it almost look real. But yeah, so I'll say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm I don't know. I don't want to overshoot it here, but I don't know. 5 to 6. I'm not
bump it up to a 7.
Okay, a 7.
8. Yeah.
7. Okay. Have you? I mean, you've seen some of my stuff, maybe.
Oh, I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah. So my manipulated photos.
Yeah, they look.
I mean, they're real.
Really real.
They're actually all real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything I just said was a lie. They've all been real.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah. Well, I'll cut that part out so people don't hear that. But no, it's fun. And like I said, you go down a rabbit hole.
Yes.
You can just go in there and just start tinkering around, and oh my god, it's
and everything is redoable because you have
Command Z.
Command Z. Yeah.
I live on those two buttons.
Sometimes,
Everything.
Yeah, sometimes I try to like Command Z stuff that happens in real life.
I was just gonna say, I wish I could Command Z my life sometimes. Right?
That's undue for non-Apple users.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're
And
not
layers.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you're not an Apple user, get with it, people, because wow, it's Apple's that's where it's at. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It really is. It's like simple.
Yes.
I like the simplicity look of.
Yes. People think it's more complicated, but it's actually not.
No.
And the reason, like, I think it might have even been Steve Jobs that said, I forget the exact quote, so I don't want to butcher it, but like a lot of times trying to make something simple is way, way harder.
Yes.
To make, like, again, operating system. Like, people look at Apple. I just remember, like, back in the day when people would be like, oh my God, an iPhone, that's like too confusing. I'm going to get an Android. It's like, well, no, like an Android is 1,000 times more confusing than an iPhone.
Yes.
But I don't know why people would be intimidated by Apple, because it's like really not intimidating.
No.
But it's actually more simple, and it's harder to make a product or anything. It's harder to make something more simple than it is complicated.
I agree. And I do have to say, in 2019, I switched over to the Google Pixel.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes. And there were sounds coming out of the phone, and I had no idea where the sounds were coming from or what they represented. And to the point where I was like a boomer, and I put a status on Facebook, and I was like, does anybody know how to see these notifications? Because I have no idea. I hear sounds, but I don't know where they're coming from. And I was worried I was missing out on important messages. But so anyhow, long story short.
Did you switch back?
Yeah, that phone ended up getting stolen in Las Vegas.
Well, good. Good.
So then I switched back to iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a blessing that it got stolen.
Yes, in Las Vegas.
Yeah, good for the person who got it, because they're going to hate their life.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah.
I hope it's still treating them well. I hope it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So get an iPhone.
Get an iPhone.
That's it.
Yeah.
I worked at Verizon like 10 years ago, and I as a sales rep, and I was like actually like selling phones basically and plans, and I used to get in trouble as a salesperson
For pushing the iPhone.
For pushing an iPhone, but because it was a better product.
Yeah.
And they wanted us to sell the Android phones because 4G was new at the time and like whatever. And I was like, listen, I believe like to my own detriment.
Right.
I was willing to make less money by selling a product that I believed in, because I believed in it, know? And, sometimes in the corporate world, hate to say it, but I don't want to say it's unethical, but like they want you to sell certain products because it, makes the company more money. I get that.
Yes.
But then that's why I didn't stay there, because I was like, yeah, that's just not for me. Like I literally, I'm not even kidding. Like I had been reprimanded like multiple times. They're like, Bill, we observed you not selling an Android. And I'm like,
so you had to meet like a certain quota for Android?
Not necessarily. It was like kind of like almost like, I would say like untalked about, but like they basically just like only want 4G devices, period. So I don't know if you remember, but iPhones were not 4G first. Only Androids were.
Yeah.
Right when 4G first came out.
Wow.
Android devices were ahead of Apple in the sense that they had 4G first. So Verizon wanted all of us to push 4G devices, because they're upgrading all the towers and everything. And I get it. They have, bazillion dollars in infrastructure, in the 4G technology. And then they're phasing out 3G. So like I was still selling like 3G iPhones when 4G was out. Yeah. And, it's just like, listen, if you want to buy an iPhone, then buy an iPhone. I don't care. Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Like, so what?
Exactly.
So I got in a lot of trouble. So yeah, but I mean, I just believe in Apple. I just believe in Apple. But yeah, so back to your creativity, and you're not at Highlights anymore.
Yes.
So what are you up to?
Well, currently I'm just a free agent out there.
Agent. Yeah. Listen up, people.
Yeah.
This guy is a free agent.
Yeah. So if you're listening, I am available.
He's available.
But yeah. So right now I'm just freelancing, and I'm just applying to places. I would like to stay in the area because I love Wilkes-Barre. I love Northeast Pennsylvania, and but I wouldn't be against another area. But I like Northeast Pennsylvania, preferably.
Yeah. Why do you like it so much? Like, what is it about here?
Well,
obviously, besides that's home.
Yeah, it's home, and ever since like just getting involved in certain things, there's like a certain sense of community here that, I mean, I'm sure you could find community anywhere, but I just feel like the bond of community here is, I may be partial, but I feel like it's stronger than other places. And I just feel like people have each other's backs, and just all it takes is just showing up somewhere and saying hi and introducing yourself to people. And I was just so timid about that for a while, and then I did it for the first time, and I haven't stopped doing it. So I would recommend anybody do that, because you get to meet some really interesting people, and it's not as scary as it seems, because I was absolutely petrified to like put myself out there, and I'm really glad I did.
Why were you afraid?
Judgment. I think I was scared of just, I don't know what I was thinking.
How long ago was this?
I would say pre-COVID. And then
So this isn't that long ago.
Yeah. So I would see different events and stuff pop up on Facebook for
Like what?
Like different art things that I would have totally been all over, but it was just like the fact of just either going by myself, or like even if I had somebody to go with me, it would just freak me out so bad to just walk through the door. And yeah, ever since COVID, like once we opened back up, and just like taking that first step of just walking in somewhere and just socializing with people.
Was it like a social anxiety?
Yeah, I think so. And like,
Did you have this like your whole life?
I think so. Yeah. But like I have a core set of like 10 good best friends that are all girls. And
The besties.
We call each other the Wolf Pack.
The Wolf Pack. All right.
And that was before the Wilkes-Barre area high school became the Wolf
Yeah,
Pack.
they got the name from you.
Yeah, we were the first Wolf Pack.
Yeah.
But
Listen up.
Yeah, like I do everything with them.
The OGs.
And yes, they have been my best friends since high school. And 2 of them are my cousins. So I'm also really close with my family as well. So that helps as well.
So did the Wolf Pack get you out?
In regards to the Wolf Pack, we would be meeting someplace, and like I would know they would be in that place that we were meeting, and I would still text them, can somebody come out and like meet me in the parking lot so I don't have to walk in by myself? It probably was so exhausting. So I don't do that anymore, but I just like, that was just maybe like 10 years ago. I did that. It was one of our Wolf Pack members' baby shower, and my best friend Jessica, I texted her and I was like, can somebody come get me? And she was like, it is Stephanie's baby shower, you can walk in by yourself. So and I knew everybody in there. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, I was just like petrified, even with my friends, to walk in someplace by myself. I have no idea why.
I think everybody's experienced that at some point in their life. You know, especially like eating lunch by yourself.
Yes.
That's a weird thing. Oh,
Yeah.
at least not for me. I mean, I've never, I'll say like, you know, being in the sales world for me, like I used to travel a lot more on the road and stuff. And I would always be out to eat by myself for lunch. And then people always say to me like, isn't that weird? And I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're sitting by yourself. Like, don't you feel like, aren't you like sad or lonely or weird? I'm like, not
Yeah.
really. I was like, I don't know. I mean, maybe at first it was like a little weird sometimes,
Right.
but you know, and it's kind of weird sometimes when I walk into places, anywhere, it doesn't matter where it is, but like you walk in and they'll be like, how many? And I'm like, 1. And they kind of like almost like look at you like as if like you're an alien, like
They're
you know,
like,
like, you're,
"Really?"
like what are you not allowed to have lunch by yourself? Like,
Yeah.
you know. But I think everybody at some point
Yeah.
struggles with that to some degree or other.
Yeah. That was also one for me, was like eating by myself. And the one time it was like really weird. It happened by accident that I conquered that fear, because I went to go get my maintenance done on my car a while ago, and they told me that that if I was willing to stick around, it would be like an hour or so. So it was on the west side. So I walked over to Ollie's. Great food. Have you ever been there?
No.
Oh my God.
I mean, I've heard about it. I've heard a lot about it.
Right across Route 11 from Planet Fitness there.
Yep.
Very good. So I walked in there and I was like, oh my God, I'm doing this. I'm having breakfast by myself. So I just sat down and had breakfast by myself. And then it was just like, check, that fear.
And isn't it peaceful now?
Yes.
Doing that?
Yes. Yeah. I feel independent just grabbing something to eat by myself, especially if you're like out shopping or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like better to do those things by yourself. Now
I agree.
now that you're doing them, you're probably like, look at what I was missing.
Right.
It's sometimes nice just to be in silence by yourself.
Eating solo and like attending the stuff that I want to attend and like seeing new people. It's I can't believe what I was missing when I was scared to get out there.
So you conquered a lot of fears.
Yeah.
Did you conquer any other fears?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, I would say that was like the big one. And just talking in front of people was a big fear.
Like we're doing now.
Right.
Well, we have a virtual digital audience.
Yeah. That's different.
I'm just your audience right now.
Yeah. So if there was like an audience of people or even just like a small group, that would still freak me out. And I think a lot of it is just, I don't know. Like I was just very concerned with how people would perceive me and like what they were thinking.
Is it like an imposter syndrome?
Yes. Because, well,
partially, probably.
Because it's like, especially when I started, like I was getting out there and then people were saying, oh my gosh, like you should get involved with this. You should get involved with this. And I would. And then when it would come time for advancement, like, for example, the Rainbow Alliance, I was on the marketing committee and the public relations committee or community relations committee. And they, after my first year of being on those committees, they were like, we think you might be a good fit for our board. And I was like, imagining like doctors and lawyers and stuff. Like board was not in my head.
It sounded that sounds complicated, right?
Yeah. So I politely was like, no, I don't think I'm gonna go out for it. And they were like, we really think you should. And I'm like, not this year, no. So like the imposter syndrome was like weighing heavy in my head. And I still stayed on the committees for the next year. And then I somewhere gained enough confidence where the next time that the board applications were open that following year, I went out for it and they were glad I did. And I interviewed along with a couple people. We were still on Zoom back then. So they did Zoom interviews and I don't know how many people were up for it, but they were selecting X amount of spots on the board and they had like a little virtual waiting room. And I was just like looking at myself on the camera while I was in the waiting room. And there's that feeling that I still feel sometimes. And I have to like stomp it down where like, it's like fight or flight. And I was looking at myself in the camera and I was like, you could just log off Zoom right now and like just say thank you, but no thank you. Like this is not for me. And I still feel that way sometimes still, where I'm just like halfway out the door before it even starts. And no matter what I'm doing, like it could be like public speaking or something, but in the end, like I still do what I came here to do. It's just the lead up and the moments up to it. I'm like eyeing the door, like there it is.
Were you eyeing the door here before I hit that record button?
No.
I thought I saw you like doing one of these.
No, I was just being nosy and I was looking around and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the thing is, like, I've never done that. I've never like left somewhere or like acted.
You just thought about it.
Yeah, I thought about it. I never acted on my thoughts to like duck out and like peace out before whatever it was that I was nervous about happened. So like I would always follow through, and like every single time without fail, it would all be okay. And I always get like that sense of relief, which I guess is still
it's
a
like
good thing, where it's like, that wasn't
okay.
as bad as I thought. And
Right?
I always think that, where it's like, that wasn't as bad as I thought. And like, I have to ask myself, like, how bad did you think it was? And like, what did you think these people were going to do? Like, did you think they were going to like laugh at you or something? And there's never been like a traumatic moment where like I was in a talent show and like people laughed at me.
You got booed
and, like,
off stage or
yeah,
something.
the bucket of blood came down like Carrie. But no, there was no like traumatic event that I like go back to.
You just kind of got in your own head.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Always. And like I still have to stomp that out and be like, that's not going to happen. Like, you're going to be fine. Like,
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah. Do you do any like, do you have any like tricks or tips that you do like to like calm yourself and relax yourself before? Like, have you like worked on anything like that?
Not really.
Okay. Maybe I'll give you one or two.
Yeah.
I hope I don't butcher it. I hope I don't
No,
butcher
I would
it.
love that.
And I got this from another friend. So
Yeah.
shout out to Jimmy T. Martin. Before you're about to go on stage or something like that, it's gonna sound like really weird, and I'm not gonna do it right now because it'll like maybe look a little weird, but it's like lateral eye movements. I know it sounds really weird, but just try it next time. All right. So all you do is just look up and down, right, 25 times, and then look side to side 25 times, and like one up and down is one rep, right? So do 25 reps up and down and then side to side, and then right after that, then close your eyes and do. I believe you breathe in first and then hold it for 5 seconds, then breathe out and hold it for 5 seconds, and do that over and over for 1 minute, and then go on stage.
I love that.
Okay.
I'm going to use it.
Try that out.
Yes.
Let me know how it works out.
Yeah.
So
I will.
I'm always, just because like what I do with this and just,
Yeah.
other things, and I've been on stage recently for a few things too. And it's,
Yes.
to be honest, it's also been like a little bit fear of mine. In here, obviously it's easy. It's one-on-one. I'm not in front of hundreds of people and live. Like, this is different, right? This isn't live.
Yes.
But, so I've always been looking for little tricks and things to do, and, trying to get better at it myself.
Right.
And I think like admitting that you need like the help. I'm always looking for,
Yeah.
that's why I asked you.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yo, do you have anything that maybe I don't know about? Right.
Yeah.
But like, I'm always looking for ways like that to just be better at those things, because listen, like, nobody's perfect. I mean, some people may look perfect, but they're probably doing some of those same tricks and things backstage or whatever it is. Like, you just don't know people are doing it, right?
Yeah.
And maybe it helps them perform better and feel more calm on stage, all that stuff. So, but yeah, so it's like, those are some of the struggles that probably, even some people that probably look very confident probably still struggle with that too.
Yes.
For real.
Yeah.
And I think getting outside of your comfort zone is so important.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like going back to what you said, it was like right when you finish, you're like, oh, that wasn't that what was I so worried about?
Yeah.
Like, that wasn't that bad.
No.
Right? And
No,
it never is.
Right.
It never
and
is.
it sounds like definitely a little sick in the head, but like I kind of look forward to that like end result where it's like, oh, okay, like smooth sailing.
Yeah, like,
after
that was
this.
good.
Yeah.
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 So all right. So with Rainbow Alliance, like, what was
Yes.
when you got on the board and you had
Yeah.
like a little bit of imposter syndrome? Like, what
Oh, yeah.
what was or I'm sorry, when you applied for that other position,
Yes.
right? Like, what was the other position, and like what would you do in that, or what do you do in that role?
On the board roll.
Yeah.
So when I interviewed for the board, I don't know if anybody's seen that viral clip of like, it was like Miss USA or something, and like they asked her a question and she just basically said the question back to them. Like, they were like, what is the problem that's facing America today? And she was like, the problem that is facing America today is and such.
Yeah.
And like, she kept on saying and such.
And such and
like,
so
she was
on, and the
like,
maps
soup.
in the Iraq.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So I definitely felt like during my interview, when it was that time, I felt like I was Miss USA, and like I just felt like I was saying the same thing back to them, and like they weren't getting a clear answer. So when the interview was over, I was getting that relief feeling like, oh, that's over, and it wasn't that bad. But I was like, but I'm definitely not getting it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know how, but I got the email a couple days later, or maybe a week later, and they were like, we'd like to offer you a spot on the board. So I couldn't believe it. And I was like, absolutely yes. So I think that was like 2 years ago. So I'll be on the board 2 years now, this year. And it wasn't so much like imposter syndrome once I got on the board, because I love everybody on the board. I think they're so cool. And I definitely look up to all of them. It was mostly the lead up. There we go, back to the lead up of, why are they asking me? Why are they interested in me? I don't belong on a board. Like, I'm not, who am I to say what should be and what shouldn't be? I'm just out here living. Like, I don't want to make rules for anybody. But then once I got on the board, I found it was like not any of what I was thinking at all. It's, getting the community together, planning events. We have these really cool events that we're doing for the whole year. One is, we're doing these dinners called Pass the Salt, where it's benefiting the community, because we're selecting a different restaurant each month, and they're happening every other month. The months that the Pass the Salt isn't going on, we're having a happy hour. So with that also, we're choosing an area bar different from the last time. So you're getting like 12 different area establishments highlighted, as well as bringing the community together during these events. And then we have our big flagship Pride Fest, which that is crazy. It was crazy last year. It was crazier than we ever imagined it. There was like 700 people that walked in the parade last year that just walked. I think we had like in the thousands on Public Square all at once. It was so hot, but it was so worth it.
Very hot day.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because you get to experience different generations at these events. So like the last cocktail party, happy hour, was at Tomato Bar, and I got to actually meet some of the people that founded Rainbow Alliance in the area. So they started in 2004 in Northeast Pennsylvania, and I actually got to meet two of the people that started it. And
Very cool.
I know more than that, but I actually got to meet them that night.
Nice.
Two of them. Yeah.
So why for you, like, this was like one of the first things that you probably like really did, right? Like you like got outside your comfort zone,
Yes.
got involved in the community, got on a board. Like why was it so important for you to do that?
Well, okay. So my dad died at the height of COVID in May 2020. And the funny thing is, well, it's not really funny, but the ironic thing is he did not die from COVID. So he was scheduled to have neck and back surgery way before COVID started. And that was like before March 2020. And when COVID touched down locally and they started closing everything, they called and they tried to reschedule it to, at the time it was like 2 weeks, a month, like wait until this thing passes. And my dad was like very athletic. He was a high school wrestler at Valley West, and he kept up his exercise, his weightlifting. He was definitely a buff man. He kept up his fitness.
Yeah.
And at that point he was walking like kind of hunched, and like he had different muscle things going on, and we were like, no, this is an emergency. He definitely needs this surgery. So they got him in at the end of April 2020, and they wanted to do the neck and back surgery at once in one surgery. But we were like, well, the doctor probably knows better, but we don't think that's a good idea, because he was like pushing 60, or no, he was already in his 60s. So he was born in 54. So yeah, he was like in his 60s. But so the doctor decided not to do the two surgeries in one. So he said in the same hospital stay, like the surgeries would be 2 days apart. So he was healing from his neck surgery, and then he went in for his back surgery, and he was doing fine until that night, and then he started getting sick. They thought it was just the anesthesia, because some people get sick from the anesthesia recovery. And he was like throwing up and stuff, and during the course of the night, and then they did tests on him, and they saw that he was throwing blood clots in his abdomen. So they did emergency surgery overnight, and they called us in the morning, and they said we had to do emergency surgery. He was throwing clots. We are watching it, and they called back like 2 hours later, and they were like, he's throwing more clots, and it's kind of cutting off the circulation to his legs and his other organs, so it's not looking good. So at the time, because it was COVID, we weren't allowed to visit him or anything, and at that point they were like, you need to come up, and we think this is the end. So it happened like really crazily, all in one day. It was a nightmare of a day, and our lives changed after that. So yeah, it was and it's still a hard thing to deal with, because nobody in the family believes it, because it's just crazy to think that he's gone. But it's been 3 years already. So after that, I made a promise to myself to say yes to everything, and within reason. So my dad was like a workhorse, where like working was his number one thing to do, and like he was a powerhouse in the kitchen. He worked at Victory Pig in the kitchen. So he was a powerhouse in the kitchen, and like working was like what he loved to do. And like I definitely
He's a legend there.
He's a legend.
He's a freaking, your dad is a legend.
So yeah, I definitely learned my work ethic from he and my mom, because they just, they weren't like hard at all on me about working. And I just like learned from them. At 16, I got a job in Mercy Hospital's cafeteria. And ever since then I've been working, and it's kind of nice to have a little break right now. But so anyhow, so I made it a point to make room for like extracurricular stuff, and not have it be about work all the time. Although like working is nice. It's nice to get involved in the community and do stuff that benefits the area, not just like the LGBTQ community, but also just like I was a part of Leadership Northeast this year, and that experience I am so grateful for. I'm grateful for everything that I get to be a part of, and we're helping out my project group. There's 6 different project groups, and we're helping out the Kirby House. We redid one of their rooms, and it was looking a little bare bones. It was like their family room where they could watch TV. So we got a couch in there, and we painted the walls, and we had a really fun fundraiser at Sabatini's Pizza on Fat Tuesday to fund our whole project. So yeah, and it just feels good to be a part of a community. And like there's 50 some people in this Leadership Northeast class, and I can honestly say like all of them are going to be my friends going forward. And it was so cool to get connections from that experience that I probably may not have had if it wasn't for being involved in Leadership Northeast this year.
Yeah. So going back to like when your dad passed, and you said like you kind of changed your perspective a little bit, like on life, and saying yes to like new opportunities and things. I mean, you know, was it, you know, did you feel like that, you know, up into your life, you just like were like waiting for too long, and that like, you know, unfortunately with the passing of your dad, it kind of gave you a different but a better perspective?
Yes. So in addition to having that fear pre-COVID of like walking into a place by myself or doing something on my own, I had this illusion of like, oh, I can't do that because it's not the right time. I'm not ready for it. Stuff like that. So once my dad died, I was like, well, stop waiting for the perfect time, because it'll be over before you know it. So like get out there and start doing stuff that makes you happy, and like don't be concerned about what people think of you or anything. And it's all in the head. Like I'm sure nobody's really like paying any attention to me or thinking bad things anyhow. But yeah, ever since then I've just learned like there's no perfect time, and like things happen when they do. So if somebody's asking you to do something or like be somewhere or represent something, and you've always wanted to do it, or like you've never thought of it but that sounds really cool to you, do it. Because if you say no, that person may not come back to you again. And like it's understandable if you have stuff going on, but like I was always a no person, where I would be like, not right now, and I would end up in that slot. I had nothing going on, but I would refuse it because of like the anxiety or the fear of I don't know what. But nowadays I'm pretty much saying yes to anything within reason, if time allows. And it's been great, like getting to know all these different people, and just like networking and connecting with people has changed like my life. Not to sound dramatic, but it definitely changed my life in the years since 2020.
Wow. Yeah. So you overcame a lot.
Yeah.
I know to like some people, like sometimes like I always say like, you know, you share a thing, you're sharing these stories, right? Yeah. And a lot of times I feel like people just like be like, oh, well, how bad can it really be? You know what I mean? And I feel like a lot of times people just don't realize, like, you know, even though you may not show it, right? Like in your head, in your mind, like you were probably, if I had to guess, probably struggling pretty bad with like a lot of that stuff. And like it's just like, I feel like, not that people discount it, but you know what I mean? Like everybody has their struggles, right? And like everybody like has something. Everybody has like a different level, right? And it's just like there's things that hold you back. Yeah. And you know, I think the moral of the story is don't wait for bad things to happen in your life, or just don't wait at all. Yes. Just don't wait at all.
Yeah. Just do it. And even if somebody didn't ask you, if it's something that you're passionate about, because this came up in one of the Leadership Northeast sessions, just the last one, where the question was, how do you go about joining a committee or a board that you want to be a part of, but like nobody really reached out to you or something like that. And the answer was, find something that you're passionate about. Like don't just join a board to join a board, or like join a committee to join a committee. Like for example, with me, Rainbow Alliance, like that's something I'm passionate about. So I got involved with them. So just think about what you're passionate about, whether it's like pet rescue or rebuilding homes or Habitat for the Humanity, or I'm sorry, I missaid that. Habitat for Humanity, something like that. And just find out more about them and just join up with them. And I'm sure they would welcome you on board. And that's, I think, what I was scared about, was that people would be like judgy or cliquey or something like that. And like, from what I've experienced, people just welcome people with open arms. And
yeah, and more times than not, a lot of these organizations, they actually like, they need the help and they need people like you. Yeah. And I think, you know, even just offering like yourself first, there's nothing wrong with that too. Like, you know, saying, hey, I would like to be part of this. Like, what do I do? Or what can I do? How can I help? You know, like even if it's not join the board, maybe there's like some other type of committee or something else you can join on a smaller scale, or maybe you're not ready to commit fully yet. Maybe they have something else that you can just try out like once or twice. And if you like it, then maybe you have another conversation the next time. You don't have to go, you know, dive right in like right off the bat, but like, you know, unless you feel like, hey, this is it for me, you know. But before you, like for you, before joining the board with Rainbow Alliance, prior to that, did you feel like you didn't have a community of people that you were able to connect and relate to prior to this?
It wasn't like I didn't feel like I didn't have a community of people. I knew they were out there, but the struggle and question was how, like, where do I start? And luckily, I'm I was friends, or I'm still friends with the people on Rainbow Alliance, but I was friends with a couple of them to start. And then I said it just in passing, like, I love what you guys are doing, and like, I would love to get involved. And they're like, okay, here's how to get involved. So now I'm like, I love all of them and they're great. But I think the biggest thing that I would take away from that is just ask questions. And like, it's not weird to be like, hey, I'm a big fan, or like, you may not be hiring right now if you're like looking for a job, but just like communicate with the people. And it's not like brown nosing. It's not weird. I thought it was brown nosing and weird until I said something, but yeah. So just like talk to people, and people are more receptive and welcoming than people think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think also just like putting yourself out there in anything, whatever it is. Yeah. Like even like, and this is like a silly example, but a good example. Even like the stuff that you do on social media, like, you know, all the funny videos and things that you do and you make. God. I mean, just stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you never know like where that's going to lead.
Right.
And like you never know, like there's probably, because people have said this to me before, it's like you don't know who's watching, and I mean that in a good way. I don't mean that in like a creepy way. There could be creeps out there too, but but I mean that in like a good way. Like you don't know whose life you're most likely positively affecting. By just doing what you're doing and just being yourself every single day and being unapologetically David Pearson on social media. Because like, you know I've sent you plenty of DMs just saying like, yo, that was hilarious. Like I'm looking forward to seeing this again. And like, thank you. Just stuff like that. Like you just don't know, you know, it could just be like one little funny thing you do or whatever on social media, and people love that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's really surprising because I was never like the class clown. And the thing is, during my first couple, I didn't like really try to be funny, but like I tried to be entertaining.
Yeah, and that's why I made it. That's why I think it made some things funny, because like you weren't trying, like,
right?
Like you were just being
like
yourself.
You could read it when people try too hard.
Yeah, right. And you were just being yourself.
Yeah,
which is sometimes funny, right?
Yeah, I knew there would be like a little giggle here and there, but then when like you were messaging me and like other people were like, oh, this part was hilarious, I was like, really? But that just encouraged the beast, and now I just try to make people laugh.
It's fun. It becomes fun.
I try to make people laugh without trying too hard.
Yeah, exactly. You just know by going online, going on social media and just being yourself, that you just know that people are going to find it, whether it's funny, entertaining, whatever. Like, and listen, people probably there's different people that probably consume your content. When I say consume your content, just you know, they see you're in their feed, right? I think there's different people that probably consume your content for many different reasons, and a lot of people don't think of it that way,
right?
Yeah, like some people, like even for like me, for my show, some people might watch this for inspiration or motivation,
right?
Some people, you know, today may watch us, you know, because they might think that you and I are entertaining, talking about the Spice Girls and AOL, Napster, and everything else, right? Yes. Like there's different reasons. Everybody's gonna watch or consume for various reasons, and like I said, you never know who you're affecting like positively, because like you're probably like affecting people way more than you even realize.
I love that.
And it literally, it's like day in and day out, and like you don't think about that,
right? And
like until like you say that out loud, like you just never know. Like you don't know.
That's really cool.
I love it. It's kind of like a good feeling, because you know, it's like keep doing it for the person that isn't, you know, behind the scenes telling you like, hey, that was cool, thanks for doing that,
right?
You know, it's like, so yeah, sometimes somebody will message you, say, hey, like you made my day. But there's other people that probably maybe see something of yours or mine or somebody else's, and it's like
don't want to reach out,
and they don't want to reach out, but like maybe it most likely made their day,
right?
You know?
I love that. And
there's a lot of that I think that goes on like day in and day out. The secret fans, right? I guess we'll call them. Yeah. So Pride Fest, you guys have Pride Fest coming up.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we have Pride Fest coming up on Sunday, June 25th. There is a pageant in Scranton the night before, Saturday, June 24th. That's at the Hilton. That is when the Pride Fest Royale gets chosen.
Royale.
Yes.
Okay.
So this person that gets chosen will be in the parade at the front.
Oh, wow.
The next
How are
morning.
they chosen?
There is a judges panel, and they have different segments. It's like they have like different fashion segments and performances, and
It's kind of like Billy Madison, where you have to go through like all the different stages,
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
pass all the tests and everything, and then like the the greatest whatever prevails.
yes,
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so the judges, there's a judges panel, and they put their scores together, and the highest ranked gets the title of Pride Fest Royale.
Pride Fest Royale.
Yes.
Do they get like a crown, or like what is it?
They do, yes.
Yeah?
And I believe there's also a pin that's very fancy, and it's very bejeweled.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was about to say bejeweled.
Yeah.
Is this something that they get to keep, and like,
Oh, yes.
or is it like you have to like return it and then the next year?
Oh no, they get
individual
to
gets
keep.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
they get to keep it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bejeweled. Mm-hmm. Get bejeweled, people.
Yes. Yeah. But then yes, our Pride Fest on Sunday. It's going well. The parade lineup is at 11, and then the party on the square starts right after the parade, and it goes until 4. But the party doesn't stop there. So there will be...
But wait, people.
There's more. So then there's going to be after parties at local participating bars, like in that vicinity. So Redano's, Franklin's, Beer Boys, Vesuvio's, Sununus's. I think they're all on board.
Solid.
Yeah.
It'll be a solid day.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I hope Tolteca is open for some
Yeah.
margaritas.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yes.
You a Mexican food guy?
A little bit more so the margaritas.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, it's all good. Who doesn't love a good margarita? Mm-hmm. Are you like a frozen or on the rocks?
I don't discriminate, but always salt around the rim.
No,
I know
I don't
some
do the
people do
salt.
sugar as well. You don't do anything.
I don't know. Nothing on the rim.
I like the saltiness with the sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
Just not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, and I'm like I'm a on the rocks
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
It depends on the day.
Yeah. If it's like, yeah. If it's like a like outdoor, maybe then get the ice, like I'm calling it a slushy. I don't know.
Slushy.
Right? A slushy. Get a margarita slushy.
Yes.
Frozen. I think it's called frozen. I'm calling it slushy.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. How can our listeners connect with you online?
Sure. So I am on Facebook under David Pearson. That is Pear, not Pierson. I'm on Instagram, Pearson989, and TikTok. I'm still getting my grip on that one. But Pearson989 was already taken for that one. So on TikTok, it's different. It's DEP18702.
It's a little complicated from the other ones.
I know. I wish Pearson989 was not taken, but TikTok again is DEP18702.
Don't forget it. Oh, that's funny. But yeah, so you're still really active on there?
I'm trying to be more active.
Okay.
Because I feel like Christmas. Well, listen. So it all started with a cheese advent calendar.
That's right.
From Aldi.
Yeah.
From like 3 years ago, right? And my cousin Maggie, she got it for me, just as like a joke, and I sent her a video of me like opening the first day, and she was like, that was pretty funny. You should like put these on Facebook. So I started doing the next days on Facebook, and then people were like laughing. And again, I wasn't like really trying to be funny, but I would tell a joke in the beginning before I would open the day. And then now we're in like, we just finished year 3, I think.
Yeah, 3 years into this thing.
Yeah. And I've graduated to TikTok, but they're also on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're
Can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
Okay.
But yeah, the Christmas season is really my booming season on TikTok, but I'm trying to be more active on TikTok.
Besides seasonally. But you can count on David Pearson seasonally. for sure, right?
On TikTok
Holidays.
seasonally, but
Yeah.
on Instagram, I'm just
Consistent.
posting all the time.
Consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just my daily activities and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just at the Fine Arts Fiesta. That was fun. Yeah, I just like to let people know what's going on, and
Hell yeah.
yeah.
So, all right, before we end, besides Lady Gaga, everybody probably thinks like, why does he keep saying that? Like, I'm just like being a goof. So besides Lady Gaga, who else do you think would make a good guest for this show?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, maybe it's somebody in the wolf pack. I don't know.
Oh my God. I think I could bring one of my wolf pack
Yeah?
back in. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I would think, or even, my bestie. Well, they're all my besties.
They're all-
but
okay, yeah. They're all
Michael
your besties.
DeRojas,
Okay.
he's a talker like me.
Okay.
But-
he'd be a great OTS guest, huh?
Yeah. Maybe somebody from the Rainbow Alliance as well. Maybe somebody from my Leadership Northeast class.
All right, we'll put together your list
Yeah.
of the besties.
The possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got this group, that group, like 50 plus over here.
I'll get you somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a list after the show.
Yeah, for sure. I will.
All right. Well, this is great. This is great. It's great that, after 45 years, we finally caught back up.
Yes. It's been 84 years.
Yeah. Since, what does that mean? What is that from?
Titanic.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, well, please, after this, you have to now Photoshop me and you
Yes.
into that meme.
Yeah.
Okay, that's your homework. I'm sending you
Absolutely.
home with one of your favorite things to do, a Photoshop,
Yeah.
trickery.
Or even like Jack and Rose on like the bow of
That's it.
the Titanic
Yes.
before he wasn't able to fit on the door.
Yeah.
That's a hot debate.
Is it?
Yeah, some people say there was enough room for him.
There
and
definitely was.
Yeah. And then some people argue that with like, no, the weight of the two of them would have sank it and they both would have died. Oops, spoiler alert. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there was room.
Yeah.
I think there was room.
Horrible.
So we got a big enough door that, if the ship's going down, I think we'd both fit. We're good. It's all good.
With that blue, they would find you.
Right?
Yeah.
We'd like stick out like from shore, no matter how far out we were.
Honestly.
Well, this is great. No, I thank you. I appreciate you coming in, and I look forward to seeing you around town now that you're out there.
I'm out and about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Come
All right.
find me.
Absolutely. All right. David Pearson on the Stacks podcast in the Blue Door Studio. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe and leave a review. We'll catch you next time on The Stacks.